everyone, it's Dana here with Love Solo Flowers, and we are just going to have our tutorial tonight. We had my son's birthday party last night. Even though it's his birthday tomorrow, we went for fireworks, so we weren't around last night, but here we are tonight, and I'll just make sure that I wait for a little bit for you guys to pop on here. We are going to start some Halloween projects. I know that you guys like to get ahead of the game, especially if you're doing things like fairs and craft shows. You need to make, ahead of season. So I thought we'd do Halloween today because I happened to be at the craft store and I saw these really cute Halloween witchy shoes. So that is what we're going to make, and I'll show it to you all in a minute, all my supplies, and we will get started when we have enough people on here. Hey Martha, yeah, I love the fall. I'm not a huge Halloween person myself. Like, I love the trick-or-treating and stuff, but I don't really do a ton of decorating for Halloween. But I love, love, love the fall. And it is fun to make Halloween stuff. So that's the one thing about making Halloween, is that it's really always fun. So that's really part of, I think, creating the decor for Halloween, is that it's fun and playful. And I found some cute things today, so I'm going to show you. I was in Michael's. That's where I was, and I always use a coupon code to get stuff. So I bought some supplies while I was there, and there's something cute, but I'm going to show it to you in a minute. After we get down to business here, we are having a sale. It is 60% off regular Sola Flowers, and it is code SAVE60. Okay, so SAVE60 is the code to get 60% off of the regular Sola Flowers. Yay! I know. Sometimes I think, should we switch up the time, or does that actually confuse people more? I don't know, but I'm hoping we're catching a different crowd kind of earlier and on a Friday. Hey, Callie! So yeah, so we are going to start Halloween. If you need flowers, SAVE60 is the coupon code on lovesoloflowers.com. And if you haven't joined our community group, that is facebook.com/groups/lovesoloflowers. Oh my word! That's such a fun birthday. Halloween is such a fun birthday because you could always dress up for kids' little birthdays and stuff. Hey, Delaney. So yeah, so coupon code, use that, and then join our group. Again, as you make stuff, please share it. It helps everybody kind of learn different ways to do things, because, my way is just one way, and it's fun to share. Again, that's facebook.com/groups/lovesoloflowers. And that's a fun group to share in and ask any of your questions that you may have. So we're gonna do kind of classic-y Halloween colors. We're gonna do oranges and purples, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna show you what I've done so far. Oh, that's fun, Halloween and Christmas. Although Christmas birthdays, kids don't always love that. But so let me show you my supplies, and then we will just start making. And what I liked about this tutorial tonight is that it teaches you the basics of arranging. So even though this is Halloween geared, there's some tips I'm gonna throw in there for you guys if you are wondering how to make some taller arrangements. And so we're gonna kind of go over some of those things as well. But I got these cute little witchy shoes. Like, it's sparkly, it's got a little spider on it. I don't know if you can see the sparkles, but they do sparkle. There's glitter on the laces and the boots. And it is a planter. It's got holes, on the top. I did not fill this with foam because this is going to be a tall arrangement, so we do not need to fill it with foam or anything like that, unless you are shipping. If you're shipping something and you want it just to be so permanent where it's not going to flop around, you can add foam in there, or just like the styrofoam balls, pop them down in there. But I'm not going to be adding anything because it's a tall arrangement, and we don't need to. Okay, so here's my witchy shoes. Then I got a styrofoam skeleton head thing, and I dressed her up with some flowers in her hair, in her no hair. So I just stemmed her like a flower. I put an 18 gauge wire, and I used our stem covers. I'm using stem covers on all my flowers, just because, again, with these tall arrangements, since I'm not going in foam, I want them to have at least somewhat of a realistic stem looking thing. So here's my little skeleton head with her flowers in her hair. And then I've got a mixture of oranges and purples. I do like to mix some of those bright purples and the oranges for fun. Okay. And then I have some faux olive leaf. I'm actually going to leave the olives on there because they're dark and they're not harming anything for this project. And then I found, again, I was at Michael's and I found these weird kind of wispy black feathery things and some actual feathers that are like black and orange toned. So I thought those would be fun. Again, I'm not using any foam, but if you need yours to be kind of permanent, or if you're shipping it, or if you want to go to a craft show and you don't want anything to move around, you can certainly put foam in it, but I'm not shipping this guy anywhere, so I'm just going to build it in here. So let's just talk about the basics of arrangement, how to arrange kind of these taller type, you know, home decor pieces, as well as the fact if you have two sides, and how to kind of work with that and make it not look like a mushroom bubble. So I think a lot of times the first thing is when there's two sides, people tend to try to be symmetric, and then I'll say they were at Michael's. If you're symmetric and you're roundish, it's just gonna look like these bubbles on top, and it's not gonna have any shape or dimension. So whenever there is two sides to something, I always go for an asymmetrical look. It will bring kind of, you know, life to it as opposed to just straight across. Because if you have two sides and you do them symmetrical, you'll just be straight across and it won't look right. So I always do an asymmetrical. And when you do asymmetrical, balance is key. So if you have something tall on one side, you need to balance it with something short on the other side that is the same type of either greenery or fillers, so that you are balancing it out. So if I put the fuzzy black stuff on this side up high, then I'm gonna need to put some of the fuzzy black stuff down low on the other side. The other thing to think about is the balance between the height of your base and the height of your arrangement. If I use this really tall boots, I mean not really tall, I mean they're not really tall if you can see how tall they are. If I use the height of these boots and then I made something really short and low, it would just look like this weird little spriggy thing, right? So if I have something tall on the bottom, I need to do something tall on top. If I have something short on the bottom, then even though I can go a little bit taller, I don't want to go crazy tall, okay? So you're going to want to keep the balance of the height of your base with the height of your arrangement. Again, we are going to be building asymmetrical because we are two-sided. It will look kind of funny if you have them exactly even, okay? So we're going to make sure we focus on balance as well as kind of the heights, what we're doing here, okay? So again, mine does not have any styrofoam in it, but if you're wanting yours to be permanent, please go ahead and add that in. I am going to start with my greenery. Okay, again, I've got these olive branchy things here, and I am making sure that I fill these guys with balance, okay? So again, if I go tall on one side, and I'll flip it to you the other way too, okay? If I'm gonna go tall on one side, then I'm gonna need to make sure that, let's see which one is my shortest, that I go shorter on the other side. So I'm gonna show you once I get these in, okay? And again, because I'm building side by side, I want one side to be a little fuller because again, we need to go slightly asymmetrical so it doesn't just go straight across. So let me show you again. So do you see how this goes high and this goes low? If these were the same, just try to imagine, if these were the same, it would just look like a sprig of stuff. Now, again, some people like a symmetrical look. Some people can't even handle it if it's not symmetrical. But when I have a side by side, I just always go for asymmetrical because it brings some type of life and at least design to your piece, okay? So that's what I've got going so far. So I've got my greenery in, what, takes 10 seconds. Literally, I just stuck my stems in. It doesn't take no time at all. This arrangement will, like, if I weren't talking and chatting it up here, would take me no more than 10 minutes to make. So you don't have to spend a lot of time to make something really, really cute. Again, if you're just joining us, we are still having a sale on lovesoloflowers.com, and the coupon code for that is SAVE60, and that's on regular Sola Flowers. And you can go grab those as well as joining our group, which is facebook.com/groups/lovesoloflowers. Now I'm gonna have my tallest piece, which is this black wispy stuff here. I gotta go grab. I left my bunny tails. So I found black bunny tails as well. Let me grab those. I want those too. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm gonna turn this to you now. These boots have a clear front and back, obviously. It's not necessarily a 360 piece, and that's because obviously the laces are gonna be in the front. But I do wanna make sure that my green is kind of incorporated on both sides. So let me see, maybe I can build this backwards. Okay, so see how I come up nice and high here? So I wanna use my other black to come down low over here. Again, that's gonna ensure that I am keeping the asymmetrical look, which gives us some design. Now I do got some black in here, but I am gonna brighten it up with my flowers. So right now it looks kind of dark, but we will get to color afterwards. Now, my last piece, which I thought was so fun, was this little bundle of feathers, which was black and orange. And when you have something like this, you kind of want it to be your focal point. So if you're gonna do a focal point, you're gonna want it, here, let me see if I can build this backwards. You're gonna want it nice and low and towards the center. So I'm just gonna add, I'm gonna see if that's the right height, okay? If not, I'm gonna just trim the bottom a little bit. I want it kind of sitting at the top of my boots here. Okay. All of this stuff was from Michael's. I happened to just be in there actually doing a return, and I saw Halloween stuff was out, and I thought, oh, how exciting. I was actually gonna make earrings tonight for my tutorial. So we will still do that. We will still do earrings, but I saw this and I thought, let me just get some Halloween stuff out there first, and then we will do earrings. So earrings are coming up, which is kind of fun. All right, so I've got my feathers nice and low, so it looks like it's poofing right out of the top. I've got my high piece for asymmetrical, and I've got my low. Do you see the balance? I've got black here, but I've got it here. I've got my green here, but I've got it here, so we stuck with the asymmetrical look. And then again, we wanted this to be kind of our focal point. We only have one of them, so we kept it nice and low and kind of towards the middle, a little bit on the side obviously because it's two pieces, but nice kind of right there in the middle. Now, I'm gonna put my skeleton head in last because obviously I want it to not get covered by stuff. So I'm gonna just start by adding my flowers. And what we're gonna do is kind of go with the same shape, right? So we're gonna kind of go taller up here, shorter up here. So here's the thing about flowers. When you're using your solo flowers, you're going to do skinny pieces and small pieces up high and full pieces and round pieces down low, okay? You don't want bulk to be up high ever. You always want your bulkiness and your bigger pieces and flowers to be at the bottom. So I would use 2-inch flowers or flowers that are more like pointy and not so bulky. It is kind of hard working backwards, but I'm gonna try. I liked this guy too because it can go nice and high. I did stem these, like I said, because I'm not using foam and we'll keep it in there nicely. I gotta turn it for me for 1 second, guys, because I can't shove this down. Okay. Now again, this definitely has a front and a back. So I'm gonna work up high and then I come down to the bottom. I definitely love to give design tips because I know sometimes you watch it and then you try to replicate it and it's not always easy to replicate because if you don't know kind of the ideas of why I did stuff. So if you ever have any questions, stop me during my tutorials because I would love to tell you why I do the things I do if I know the answer. But so again, we're gonna start up high and we're gonna bring the bulk down low, okay? So we started up, again, this was pointy. Although this is a bigger flower this way, it's nice and pointy, so it makes such a nice kind of tip there. And then I'm just gonna keep bringing down my bulkier flowers, my 3-inch flowers, my rounder flowers, my fatter flowers, down to the bottom. I also wanna be careful that I'm not lumping colors, a little shorter, lumping colors together. You know, there's a certain amount of kind of clustering you can do, but you don't want to have it just a big pile of like purple or a big pile of orange. Okay. So let me just add this guy. I am trying to do this backwards, which is an interesting type of thing here, but. And again, you can add flowers to the back if you're going to, you know, be doing it on a table where you think you might see the back. But this is definitely just going to be on a table where the back is not. Let me just look at it face forward for a second. I'll turn it around in a second. I just want to adjust my flowers. Okay. And you don't really need like a ton of flowers for something like this either, especially if you're going to have all these kind of fun fillers in it. I want to make sure that I'm leaving space for that skull, and I'd like to have that skull near this feather thing, kind of blooming out of the feathers. So maybe I'll go ahead and put the skull in now so that I don't cover up the feathers. So as you can see, I put my little feathers here, and I think I want to put my skull down. Again, I stemmed my skull and I put flowers on her hair. I'm just going to turn it so I can stick it in there real fast. And I'm going to have it kind of blooming out of the feathers. And I don't want to cover up the feathers, so like make sure that you're pulling it out. Okay, again, I want my focal points to be nice and low and closer towards the center, a little off the center. You never really want to center things, especially when you have two things. You definitely like to do, I like to do angles and things like that. I don't like to make it too, I don't like to make it too like straight and centered, especially when you're doing something a little wacky like this. I am gonna put some flowers towards the back now. Get some height back there because I don't wanna kind of mess with my skull. Hey, Carly. All right, I'm gonna turn it for one more second. Okay, I got this going, but I wanna stick this flower in here. I need to trim it just a little bit. I wanna stick it down in there. And again, once you put these on wires, and if you've never worked with Sola flowers, we use 18 gauge wires. And if you've never worked with them, you can maneuver them better if you put them on wire. I know some people like to use bamboo sticks, but the problem with bamboo sticks is that once you put them in place, you can't maneuver their heads, okay? So here we go. All right, I'm gonna put my last orange one in the center there, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing. Even the skeleton, I know some people are tempted to use, let me get this purple one here, are tempted to use the bamboo sticks because they think they're stronger. But the thing about the bamboo sticks is even the head of the skeleton, you can kind of move from side to side. Let me just stick this down and then I will show ya. And then I'm going to add some black bunny tails. Again, I am not putting it into any foam. Okay, I'm not going to put anything into any foam. I'm just going to let them rest in there. They are pretty tight. It is not that big of an opening, so that kind of helps us keep things into place. Okay, let me show you. And you can see how I've kind of alternated the purples and the oranges. And I can pull some things through too, some greens. You don't have to even use greens. If you want it a little spookier, you can keep them black. You can do lots of things like golds. Even on the flowers, you can do those metallic, or you can use filler that is metallic. Again, I want this feather to kind of bloom out of the skeleton's face. And then I've got some black bunny tails that I'm gonna be putting in there as well to fill it up, okay? So again, let's just kind of go over some of the tips for arranging. If you have something that's side by side, like two jugs, or even they have like little pails, that are together. There's things that are side by side. This asymmetrical look tends to be the look to go for, because otherwise it looks just totally flat across, and it doesn't necessarily make sense in a design purpose kind of way. So again, we went up high and then we went to down low, but we definitely made sure we were balanced. So if I have my black over here, I want to make sure my black is over here, and everything is bendable and movable, which is always nice too. And then we have some black bunny tails. I put some feathers in there. I kind of like the head kind of cocked to the side like that, a little bit creepy. If you're gonna go for Halloween, you might as well go a little creepy. I've got these black bunny tails. Let me just move this close to you real fast while I pull out these bunny tails. And these are just gonna fill in between the flowers that we've already got there. Again, if you feel like you need to glue these things in or put them into styrofoam, that's fine. Mine's not gonna get shipped or anything. This is just obviously for the tutorial. So for me, I'm just arranging in it. If you're gonna just do it for yourself at your house, there's no really need to do that. Right? See, I always take the olives off the olive greens a lot of times, and this would be one place that they look kind of cool. I think they look kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna turn it to me real fast again because it is very hard for me to arrange backwards. I'm just gonna stick these black bunny tails in, and then I will show you kind of how that makes it look pretty cool. I want my flowers obviously to peek through. So as you can see, I put some black bunny tails. I'm just gonna put them in between flowers that are kind of too bulked together. Another thing you want with these taller arrangements is not to just bulk your flowers together so tight, because when you do that, you tend to get rounder shapes. And for these tall types of pieces, you really don't want to go very round. So we're gonna just make sure we are sticking with the height. Okay. And I think I need a few more in this back here. And these are things too, sometimes these like types of fillers with these skinniness, skinny stems, sometimes it's good just to glue them in, like bunch them up and put some glue. The black bunny tails were also at Michael's. They had just some kind of witchy stuff out today. I think they're just starting kind of their Halloween stuff, I don't know. I'm gonna just add some more and then I'll turn it back around again. Yeah, I love to mix textures. I love to mix colors. I love to mix kind of styles. I'm just kind of not afraid to just do all that. Patterns and things like that. Doesn't really make me nervous. So you've kind of got, you know, different types of feels, but the bunny tails go good with the feathers too, because you've got that kind of wispy. Let me turn it around now. Squeeze these guys in here. I mean, you can have them kind of poking off a little bit to the outside. Okay. And your lighting, because I have to use a ring light so that you can see everything, the lighting on, just want to get my feather. I'm going to take my skull out because I just want to get my feathers back up again. Kind of got stuck down in there. The lighting is a little bright because obviously I need to make it bright enough in the with my ring light to make it so you can see me. And so the colors are a little bit darker than what they appear on your screen here. Okay. Again, I like my skeleton head to be cocked to the side a little bit. I like, again, the asymmetrical look, especially for kind of a creepy feel like this. Not that I'm always into creepy. I do like to make creepy, but I don't really like to decorate my own house with creepy, but I do have fun making creepy. I think, again, because of the brightness, maybe you can't see it all, but see how the feathers come out kind of like a collar for that skeleton head? I want to keep that in there like that. I might even glue him a little bit so he doesn't move. So I'm just going to pop a little glue on the bottom of his stem. It's fun to decorate the skeleton's head too with the flowers so that you're not going to have a gap trying to figure out how to get, you know, flowers in the spot right above his head. So it's kind of easier to just glue flowers to his head. I actually stemmed the flowers to his head so that there's something here. Otherwise it would be just the top of his head, which is, you know, will be white or gray. And you know, that that would be hard to kind of get a flower in that positioning. So I was conscious of the fact that I needed something to go there. So again, the little boots, can you see them from the side? So again, we had tall, so we have to make sure we're balanced with the tall. Do you see how tall it is on the side? We want to make sure we're balanced. Again, if you feel like someone's going to see the back of it, you can add some flowers to the back as well. Thanks, Andrea. You know, I every so often I'll stick a couple little flowers or something back there. But again, this is just for my tutorial, so I don't need to make sure the back is good. But if you're going to sell it and you feel like you wanted to make sure that the back looked good too, that's totally cool. But just again, making sure I'm balanced with heights. Again, the asymmetrical, you're going to want your flowers to move along with your greenery. You don't want to have really tall greenery and then all your flowers be like a ball around the top. So you're going to definitely want to make sure that your flowers also move with the movement of the greenery. And so that's why your beginning base is so important, to get that shape and that balance and everything, because you're definitely wanting to make sure that you can easily put your flowers in the same position. I love these little feathers looking like a little collar. And like I said, I like a little creepy, like by turning things to their side. If you center things and you keep things straight up and down, it tends to be very stiff as an arrangement. But if you bend things like in normal type of nature, things will. Just going to want to make sure that you keep your mind on that too. That straight up and down doesn't always give you the look that you're going to need either. So here we are. That is it. Again, our sale is, coupon code is SAVE60. That's 60% off of regular Sola Flowers on our website, lovesolaflowers.com. And our group to share and to ask questions is facebook.com/groups/lovesolaflowers. I hope you liked our first Halloween project. Let me see if you can see it from farther away. Maybe it'll look a little different. Is that better if it's further away? This is our first Halloween project. We are going to do a couple other Halloween projects as well. I'll do more fall type stuff like pumpkins and things. And you're always welcome to write us your ideas for tutorials or things that you're wanting tips for. I don't mind coming up with stuff that helps anybody and all your needs. So again, in the group, you're welcome to put what you are looking for to learn how to make. Or if you see something in a store that you thought was cute and you want to give me the idea. I love ideas because, you know, we all have our different spins on things and it's fun to see what everyone makes with certain things. Okay, so this is my Halloween project number 1, and that is it for tonight. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. All right, bye guys.